We have not seen any further installments of Mr. Altman's proper reading order Plato's Dialogues. But he may have published more books. He published the first, which was The Crisis of Plato's Republic. And it's a very elaborate work and a very impressive work. And as I'm sure I have read that work, I have not read J.B. Kennedy's musical structure of Plato's Dialogues. Both these men are doing very serious and important work on Plato today. But I was thinking that Michael Maybach of NIU, who went through and learned political philosophy there from Professor Glenn, Professor Frisch, Professor Arnhart, and others, might in the future be interested. In the past, he has given some money to the university for essay contests there, and maybe in the future he would endow the theater department at NIU with some money that can be used for the presentation of Plato's Dialogues. And so a more realistic, or maybe even some money that might inspire students at NIU in political philosophy to present Plato, or in philosophy to present to do films about Plato's Dialogues, and to explore this aspect, because in the past, Michael Maybach, who ended up working for, I believe, a corporation, maybe Microsoft, or maybe one of those major computer corporations, but he gave money to NIU because he was gratified by the education that he had received there. And I certainly, by no means, given what I've said about what I experienced there, am not saying that to any extent that the professors that I had there were not good professors, or that the experience that I had there up until a certain time was not very good experience, and that those teachers are not good teachers. I don't mean that at all. And I think they understand. If they're intelligently listening to what I'm saying, then they understand that completely. That anything I've said has been as much an homage to them as it has been a criticism of some of them. And that, that's philosophy, is that separating out, if philosophy is criticism. That's what I'm trying to get out there. That you can't engage in anything in life without criticism and without being able to endure criticism. If a university like the University of Chicago hadn't been able to endure criticism over the years, if it had fallen over every time somebody gave wind to criticism, that wouldn't even stand there today. And criticism is essential to the growth and progress of any institution, and to the growth and progress of any individual or institution. So it's not something where somebody is saying, criticism, it's something that you engage in that is of supreme importance to your existence. But it is something that should be engaged in wisely. And I realize that sometimes I'm not as sober as I should be in engaging in it. That's why I'm not there saying those things. I'm not there doing those things at that moment. I'm thinking through. I'm trying to get I'm trying to meter what I say and what I do. Everyone should be that way. But then neither should one be the type who is afraid to say anything. If you work for Yale, you have a right to be as critical of Yale as praising of it, because that's what keeps the institution strong. Dick Hartigan could have said, well, I better not say in my class, because I know that I got that super memory guy in my class, Jeff Newsall. I better not make that comment about equal but different. I better not do that because he might irresponsibly handle that. That's not true. See? So, but Then on the other hand, it would have been wrong for Dick Hartigan to step into class every day and curse Loyola's existence, curse the Pope, curse whatever, and then, then expect that he's going to have a good job there. That's another thing. See, that's another aspect. The right combination of criticism and praise of a person shows that you are not prideful, and that you had not lost your mind and put yourself in the place and said that you're righteous about everything and everybody else is unrighteous. You have to have balance in life, and you have to be very careful. It's hard to achieve, but this is an encouragement for Michael Maybach to maybe be able to give birth to something, political philosophy as film, political philosophy as theater, because these things I'm trying to unearth, like Eric Voegelin did in Order and History, that Voegelin realized that the people in Athens, they had seen the tragedies, they had seen the comedies, but their ideas of the gods, their ideas of things had faded, if you will, and they were no longer riveted or attracted by that, and it was no longer something that could keep them together. Like Lincoln once said, the mystic chords of memory are what keeps a people, or forms a people, or keeps a people together as a people. See, the mystic chords of memory of the founding of the United States, of a James Madison, of a Jefferson, of a Lincoln, that's what holds us together as a people. That's what we share as a people. That's what we are. That constitutes us. But what is the appropriate way to continue to revive that notion in the minds of people? How do you symbolize that makes that a powerful symbol in the life of people? How do you present, when we're 2,500 years after Plato, how do you present something like a dialogue that is of interest to people? Is injecting modern poetry into it a good way to do it? Is mixing the ancient poets and the modern poetry a way to present Plato's Ion about poetry? Is a dialogue of the Republic that takes place in the scene of the American Civil War a better way to present the question of what is justice and the setting for it of a republic, of a presentation of the republic at NIU in the theater? Is that a better way of bringing to students what the Republic of Plato means? See, these are things where people are saying we're trying to preserve tradition, like the Voegelin Institute at Louisiana State University is today trying to preserve the symbols of the American regime, the experiences of the American regime, and the minds and hearts of people who are citizens of the democracy. How do you do that? What is the right way to do that? What is the best way to do that? Benefactors like Michael Maybach might be the beginning, and the right people might be the beginning of preserving these things in a way that has not been adequately explored yet.